very good evening, Zimbabwe. Welcome to LiveTalk. We're coming to you live from Studio 7 at the Voice of America in Washington this Monday, May the 15th, 2023. And I'm your host, Marvelous Mhlanganyahuye. And tonight on LiveTalk, we're discussing about a partnership between Mpilo Central Hospital in Bulawayo and United States-based Operation of Hope Worldwide that is screening and providing free surgeries on cleft lip and palate to children. Cleft lip patients must at least be 10 months and in good health, while cleft lip palate patients must be at least 18 months and in good health with no signs of fever. But before we delve into our main topic, let's take a look at what is happening in South Africa, where women make up only 13% of graduates with degrees in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM. In an effort to interest more young women in these fields, retired U.S. astronaut Nicole Scott is visiting schools in South Africa to talk about her 104 days in space. Zaha Kasim reports from Johannesburg.
It's a packed house to see an inspiration to so many girls around the world. Nicole Stott, a retired astronaut and accomplished artist, is touring South African schools to promote STEM education. With her unique background in science and the arts, she emphasizes the importance of STEAM, incorporating arts into traditional STEM disciplines, which include science, technology, engineering, and math.
When you add STEAM in, I think what we're doing is we're encouraging our kids to use their whole brain, right? To consider all of their talents when they're trying to solve problems. And we're going to be relying on them to solve some of the greatest planetary challenges we've ever had. So we want them to use their whole brain. And I think that STEM, with the A, STEAM, puts them in a, it puts them in a place to do that, to recognize the tools and their talents to bring that together.
In South Africa, women make up 13% of STEM graduates. Steve Sherman is determined to make that number rise. He's an award-winning teacher and the founder of the non-profit organization Living Maths.
If you look at the number of scientists, there are too few women in that field. They are underrepresented, and possibly it could be that some of these students don't feel that they have what it takes because they only see male role models. So you bring out a woman role model, and all of a sudden students start to see someone that they can relate to, and that is critical when it comes to motivating them and getting them enthusiastic about following a career in STEM.
South Africa itself plays an important role in space exploration, with plans for a ground station in the Karoo region that will support NASA's future deep space missions. 9th grade student Azra Ilogru says STAT has been an inspiration to her and her friends.
I remember Nicole Stott. I used to watch her because I had a lot of interest in astronomy. So I had a video of her explaining how you do some things in space. And now seeing her here is really joyful. If you want to do something, the environment you are in or the people you are around has nothing to do with what you want to do. As long as you have your hopes high, you can do it.
Buckle up, South Africa, because the future of science and innovation is about to launch, powered by the unstoppable determination of young minds. Zaha Kasim for VOA News, Johannesburg.
Very interesting topic there indeed, especially for Zimbabwean students who are also looking at taking up STEM. Back to our main topic, the current program at Mpilo Central Hospital started on May 6th and will end on May 19th. The initiative has been going on for a while, with this being the 32nd visit. The Operation of Hope Worldwide President Jennifer Mora said a number of children in Zimbabwe are born with cleft lip palate or cleft palate.
It's Jennifer Trubenbach, and I run Operation of Hope Worldwide. And we're a charity that has come to Zimbabwe now for 32nd, this will be our 32nd mission. And we do a cleft camp where we help people that are suffering from the cleft lip, which is the split in the lip, as well as the hole in the roof of the mouth. And we help any ages, anyone who has a cleft lip, as long as they're at least 3 months old. And for our palates, we ask that they be at least 11 months old and up to around 6 years of age.
How has the service been when you come to Zimbabwe? Like, how has the operation been going on?
Yeah, well, today is our second day of surgery, and yesterday we completed 7, and today we are probably on our 4th, and we'll probably have at least 3 more. Our goal is to be able to help around 50 to 60 people, depending upon the surgery and how long it takes. But we will be operating this week as well as next week.
What patients are you looking forward to?
Well, we do have some openings for cleft lips, and that is the split lip. So anybody, again, 3 months or older, we would really hope they would come to Mapilo Hospital, and our doctors will screen them and then schedule them for the operation. It's completely free.
That there was Operation of Hope worldwide. The President Jennifer Mora speaking in Bulawayo. A Bulawayo-based mother, Cerise Rothenberg, says she is happy with the second operation her child got and encouraged other parents with children with cleft lip and palate to contact Operation of Hope. Anastasia Ndlovu speaks to Cerise Rothenberg.
Your name and surname?
My name is Cerise. My surname is Rothenbach.
Your daughter's name?
Sophie.
Okay, tell me, what challenge did she have?
She was born cleft lip and palate.
So
yesterday,
has she been surviving?
With some difficulties, some certain bottles, eating has been a challenge with it coming out of her nose. So we had come last year for the first operation. They corrected the lip. Then yesterday they had done the second operation to correct her palate.
Wow. How are you feeling today?
I'm tired. I'm just tired. But I'm happy that it's done and she's finished now.
What advice would you give to other women who are faced with a similar challenge with their children?
I think they should contact Operation of Hope because they're good people and they'll help to fix their problems.
That there was Cerise Rattenbach speaking with the Studio 7 reporter Anastasia Ndlovu. The Metronet Mpilo Central Hospital Theatre Singangele Mguni also gave her views on the operations being done at the hospital.
Lingasitshela ukuthi kunceda kangakanani ngemva kokuba umuntu esethe wahlinzwa waphola?
Njengoba ngitshilo ukuthi i-condition leyi umuntu uzala elayo khona lokho nje ukuthi isebusweni umuntu uyabe khanya elimele so kuyancedisa ukuthi umuntu abe le confidence after ese-operatiwe ngenxa yokuthi kuyayenza ukuthi akhangeleke njengabanye abantwana ababe bevalekile imlomo njalo ngaphakathi laphana ukuvuleka lokho esithi cleft palate kuphambanisa ekudleni ekumunyeni ukuginya so nxa ungabe sokuvalekile umuntu lakho ukuthi adle kuhle normally even umntwana omunyayo amunye kuhle angaze waphazamiseka ngenxa ye condition naleyo.
That was the Metronet Mpilo Theatre Singangelihle Mguni speaking to Studio 7's Anastasia Ndlovu. Another mother, Gladys Muzambwa, is urging other mothers with children with cleft lip and palate to seek medical attention.
Ibizo lami uGladys Muzambwa.
Okay, my Muzambwa, lingantshela ukuthi libuye lobani ibizo lakhe mbani leminyaka emingaki yokuzalwa njalo ubhekane lodubo lwani?
Ngibuye umntanami ngu-Andile. U-Andile ulomnyaka 6 years. Ngamzala mhla ka-2 May 2017. Ngambeletha ngolesilima uvulekile umlomo. Manje ngabuya sekodwa kule amadokotela alaphayo ngabuya lapha etown empini bamthunga ngathesi se-right ngathesi sengibuya futhi kuthiwa athungwe ephakathi aqediswe.
Ngemva kokube sethulwe phandle umlomo sokusele ngaphakathi impilo yakhe itshintshe kangakanani?
Impilo yakhe itshintshile phandle ngoba wayevulekile sibili esabeka ebantwini abanye vele abantwana bengamphathi vele bangambambi.
That was Gladys Muzambo speaking to Studio 7's Anastasia Ndlovu. Let's hear from another mother, Amai Precious Kurwa, vachitaurawo zviri kuitika kwavari nemwana wavo.
Vakaberekwa musi wa13 October 2019 vanga ine dambudziko rekutsemuke pamuromo nemukati.
Okay. Then pamakauya pano pampilo chii chamakaitirwa pamwana?
Pandakauya pampilo gore rapera ndakagadzirwe kunze.
Chii chamakaona after kugadzirwa kwake upenyu hwake hwakaita sei?
Zvakatanga kutochinja pane zvaanga atori zvacho. Nekuti waiti akadye chikafu chobuda nemuviri.
Iko zvino agadzirwa chii?
Wagadzirwe mukati.
Kurudziro ruri mungape vamwe madzimai nevana vane dambudziko rinofana nemwana wenyu?
Kurudziro yandakaone pavana ava vanode hanya nawo vachangobarwa nekuafidhe zvakakwana kuti aite utano hwavo hwakanaka. Ukatadze kufidha kana kuita hanya naye unoshaya utano hwakanaka.
Imi mobva kupi?
Ndinobve kwaMutare Bochi.
Avo vanga vari Amai Precious Kurwa vari kuti ivo vakatobva kwaMutare kuBocha vari paMpilo Hospital kuBulawayo vachitaura naAnastasia Ndlovu anova mutori wenhau weStudio 7 vachitsanangurawo kuti vana vanenge vakatarisana nedambudziko iri vanofanira kupiwa kudya kwakanaka nezvimwewo. But before we go on, let us take a short break and please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
In times of change, when the world seems uncertain and what we hear doesn't reflect what we see, we seek the truth. When we are told only part of the story, we lose trust. In moments of crisis, our dreams, hopes, and wishes for a better tomorrow depends on a free press. At Voice of America, we bring you the stories that people take risks to see. We connect the world and unite it with truth. At Voice of America, we show you the whole picture.
For those that have just joined us, please note that we are streaming live on all our Facebook pages. Please go to VOA Shona, VOA Studio 7, and VOA Ndebele. We're also live on YouTube at VOA Zimbabwe. And to discuss about cleft lip and palate, we are joined via Skype by Dr. Simbiso Ranga, based in North Carolina. Welcome to the program, Doctor.
Hello, Marvelous. Thank you for having me in the program.
Thank you for taking your time. I know you're very busy. I'll start off by just saying Operation of Hope Worldwide is in Bulawayo helping with free surgeries for patients with cleft lip and palate. How significant is this?
Well, Marvelous, I think it's a very good thing that children are able to get these services from Operation Hope. You will know that there are children born with cleft lip and cleft palate, or a combination of cleft lip and cleft palate. So that's a defect that children are born with, and it gives rise to a lot of problems, including respiratory issues, infections, things like that, and even aesthetics, just the look. So for children to have this kind of service available to them for free in Zimbabwe is a very good thing, knowing where our economy is and also our healthcare delivery system needs a little bit of uplifting.
And how does this condition actually affect children?
Well, Marvelous, children are born with it. Usually, it affects both boys and girls, and it's something that can be easily seen if it's cleft lip, where you have a crack on the lip or a crack in the palate or both, and it causes the children to have several problems because this affects swallowing. So when the children try to drink milk, breastfeeding, or eat regular food, sometimes the food will be falling off. Sometimes it goes through the nose, like one of the mothers was explaining. Sometimes they choke because some of that food or liquid ends up in the lungs. There may be also some other problems because it's a developmental problem. The children may also have other developmental problems.
Mm-hmm. A lot of pregnant mothers are being scanned to determine the health of their preborn babies. Can this condition be detected before a child is born?
Yes, Marvelous, absolutely. Obviously, it depends on the age of the baby in the womb, but that's something that can be detected when the ultrasounds are able to see the whole body of the baby. It can be seen, and I know that there are some animal studies being done where they are trying to fix the problem internally before the child is born. This hasn't been done in human beings yet, but it's being experimented on in animal studies, and that is giving some hope.
That was actually my next question, that, is there scientific evidence that shows that this condition can be reversed before the baby is born? So you've just answered me there. So we see outside organizations coming to help in Zimbabwe. Is this not something Zimbabwe can do on its own?
Well, we can take every help we can get as Zimbabwean citizens. Those children and mothers have probably been waiting, mothers and fathers as well. They've been waiting for a while for this problem to be fixed. So it means that we definitely have a gap in terms of the services we're able to provide locally. So when we get support from organizations like Operation Hope, it's a very good thing. And I hope that they also help capacitate the local surgeons and other health providers so that this can be an ongoing thing in Zimbabwe.
Tombopinda murimi rwamai kuti tinoona dambudziko iri riri kutaurwa iro kuti riri kugadziriswa kuMpilo Hospital rinokanganisa sei mwana dambudziko irori?
Dambudziko reMarvelous rinokanganisa mwana pakuti kumwa nekudya chikafu zvinenge zvakanganisika zviya zvokuti chikafu chinenge chava kurasika kana mvura, uyezve chimwe chikafu chopedzisira chapinda mumapapu zvinozokonzera kuti vana vakosore, vaite mazvirwere kana mainfection emumapapu, uyezve hazvingoratidzike mwana achienda kuchikoro ane iyoyo cleft lip, cleft palate. Hazvinyatso kuratidzika, saka kuti zvigadzirwe is a good thing.
Thank you so much. Regai timbotorera muteereri. Hello, Mukoma Dickson, makadi yenyu?
Tiripo temavhe muri wadikiri.
Aiwa, tiri wadi. Kwakadii kwa Mutare uko?
Kwasari tiri wadi tingotamba.
Ehe, muri kuzwa nyaya iripo mugango, muri kutaurwa imo pamusoro kubatana kwakaita vamwe vana chiremba vanobva kuno kuAmerica navana chiremba vepaMpilo vari kubatsira vana vakazvarwa vaine chirwere chiri kunzi cleft palate necleft lip. Tipewo pfungwa dzenyu.
Ini ndinofara chaizvo nechirongwa ichocho, uye ndinotenda dhokta ari mustudio kwavanoita Dr. Simsoranga kuti vanoita kuramba kuchidzidzisa zvakasiyana nenyaya dzeutano. Chirongwa ichi chirongwa chakanaka tichitenda kuAmerica neMpilo Hospital, nekuti muno muZimbabwe tinotibatsira zvakanyanya kunge tichionawo samari dzinotibatsira kugadzirisa matambudziko enyaya dzeutano. Saka ini ndinozvitambirawo zvakanyanya.
Aiwa, pakanaka. Sekudai tina chiremba vari muno, kana muine mibvunzo yamungada kubvunza ndonguva yacho.
Okay, chikuru chanotenda ndoda kuti titende Dr. Simranga.
Aiwa regai nditinauye paline. Dr. Simbisoranga, taurai nemuteereri hanzi namukoma Dickson majaha vari kwaMutare. Ndoda kukutendai. Taurai henyu mukoma Dickson kuna Dr. Ranga.
Dr. ndinokutenda chaizvo. Ndinokutenda chireka. Nebasa guru ramunoita ndikuteerere Studio 7. Kubva rapera taiona muchiuya muchidzidzisa zvakanyanya pakata COVID, kuti pakata kweCovid manga muchiuya muchitidzidzisa kudzivirira COVID, tingafamba sei tiri mukati mekunda iroro, tichipa dzidzo dzakasimba munyaya dzese dzamukuya dzeclefit. Ndinoda kukutendesa izvo nedzidziso dzatinotipa nekuti basa kwamunotipa neruzivo rwenyu penyaya dzeutano.
Dr. Ranga, taurai henyu.
Tinotenda mukoma Dickson nekuramba muchiteerera Studio 7 nebasa ravari kuita rekuti vanhu vadzidze nezvirwere nezviri kuitika munyika pautano hwedu. And isusuwo tinofara kunge tichikwanisa kuuya tichikurukura pane zvinenge zviri kushungurudza vanhu vemuZimbabwe panyaya dzezvirwere. Saka thank you kuti munoteerera, and thank you for the kind words.
Thank you there, Mkoma Dickson. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great day there in Mutare. So we have our caller there, Dickson Majaha, who's saying he's calling from Mutare. He says he's very excited about today's program. And then he's happy to see Dr. Simbisoranga, who walked us through the COVID-19 pandemic. He says he's been listening to all those programs and he just wanted to send his thank yous to Dr. Ranga. But coming back to you, Doctor, we see also that there are a lot of initiatives that are being coming out of the United States. Are there any Zimbabwean doctors that actually do go back home and provide some of these services in partnership with local doctors in Zimbabwe, but from here, but are Zimbabwean?
Thank you, Marvelous. That's a very good observation and a very good question. The answer is yes. A lot of us Zimbabwean doctors, we never leave home, because we still have families in Zimbabwe. So what I have noticed is that a lot of us, when we go home to our local areas, sometimes we carry medication, sometimes we carry medical equipment like blood pressure machines, glucometers to check sugars. So that's some of the stuff that some of the doctors are doing. Others who are surgeons, when they come home, they connect with the local doctors and see how best they can help. So I don't know specific programs that are at the capacity of Operation Hope emanating from Zimbabwean doctors here, but I know that there are doctors in Australia who are doing some work, also working with Pararenyatwa and other tertiary hospitals in Zimbabwe.
And how easy is it to have that relationship? Is there no bureaucracy when the doctors do get to Zimbabwe?
Of course, Marvelous, there's going to be bound to be a little bit of bureaucracy. Some of it is expected. Some of it could be improved. And when I say that, I mean that we have to be licensed to practice in any country. So sometimes the bureaucracy stems from that, to make sure that the people who are serving Zimbabwean citizens are adequately trained and are able to provide the service. However, I have heard from some anecdotal reports that sometimes some doctors come eager to help, but because of these licensing requirements and so forth, sometimes they are not able to do as much as they could do the time they are there. Some of us come there for 3 weeks, and within those 3 weeks, you see family. You also want to do 1 or 2 things to help the local hospital. So if the process doesn't move fast enough, sometimes the doctors will return to America or Australia without those services, them being able to provide those services. So what I would encourage the government is to say, can we connect better with Zimbabwean doctors in the diaspora to see how we can smoothen the process so that whenever we're available, we also provide a service to our people.
And also the issue of culture. We see a lot of people go to traditionalists or, to traditional healers. Some go to the prophets to get their children prayed on or to take traditional herbs. What's your view regarding that when it comes to cleft lip and cleft palate?
Marvelous. It's a very good question. And obviously, as part of my medical school training involved us interacting with traditional healers so that we understand how they work with the local communities. And we know that a lot of our people, they go to these traditional healers to seek help. What I would recommend is that you should still see a doctor as soon as possible if you notice that your child has a deformity, like this cleft lip, cleft palate, because children are born with this. I know that sometimes people will believe that maybe there was a curse, maybe they were bewitched and so forth, which are unfounded. Unfortunately, I know we believe in that, but these are genetic abnormalities. And fortunately for cleft lip and cleft palate, this can be fixed surgically so that a child can have a normal life. So that's what I would encourage. I'm not saying don't go see the traditional healer or the faith healer. I say that you should see a doctor so that a child can also be assessed and see what can be done.
And also, if you can just take us through, how would one know that their child has cleft palate or cleft lip? What do you see?
So, if it's cleft lip, for instance, Marvelous, is very obvious because it's external. So you can see that the child doesn't look normal. But sometimes it may be subtle, which means that you have to pay attention to details, like the way they speak. If their speech seems to be impaired somehow, that may have something to do with cleft palate, cleft lip. Also, whenever you feed them, they start coughing, for instance, this means that they are aspirating, or some of that food or that you are feeding them is ending up in the lungs. Or sometimes they may just be crying. Sometimes they pick up infection in that area. So the child will register that something is wrong one way or the other.
Thank you very, very much there. I know there are a lot of people that wanted to actually call in. So hopefully maybe we can have one caller before I let you go, because we're coming to the end of our program. But we had Mr. Richard Moyo, Simbusiso, Preston, thank you so much. And Mkoma Dixon was able to get on the show. But for you, maybe my last question is, Momboti tsananguro kuti munera mangwana tingawana chirwere ichi chichizopera here kana kuti zvakamira sei?
Marvelous, chirwere ichi kupera chaiko, it's possible, chinokwanisa kupera, asi nenyaya yekuti ma-genetic abnormalities, we are still understanding kuti chinokonzerwa nei. Pane imwe mishonga inenge yatorwa nana mai, pamwe anenge achingovawo ma-deformities angoitika, ma-genetic abnormalities. Saka kana tikakwanisa kugadzirisa izvozvo, kuunderstanda ma-genetic tests in time, maybe that can minimize the chance. Uyezve vana mai mishonga yavanenge vachitora vakazvitakura inofanira kunge yakaongororwa. So those are some of the things that can minimize chance yekuti vana vaite ma-deformities.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Unfortunately, we don't have extra time like in soccer. That brings us to the end of our show. We'd like to thank our guest, Dr. Simbiso Ranga, and of course you, the viewers and listeners. Signing off in Washington, I'm Marvelous Mhlanganya, who is saying have a very good night.